What's happening YouTube? Today I'm bringing you Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 monotype battle against a guy by the name of Snecols. As you can immediately see, I have brought Mono Psychic team against his Mono Water. Then you can also notice two different approaches to this battle. I went for type coverage and my team is made out of 4 attackers, a supporter and a wall. My opponent on the other hand has brought 4 walls, a sweeper and obviously a Politoed. So looking at this matchup, I knew that this game is going to be a struggle for me, since my only answer to water is an Executor, which happens to be a Sunny Day Chlorophyll sweeper, and with Politoed on the other side of the field it won't be able to do much. Because of series of unexpected happenings though, this battle turned out to be much closer than I initially expected, but without more spoiling, let's get into it. I lead with Medicham, knowing that it is probably most threatening thing to a Politoed, and I go for a Psycho Cut, because switch to Jellicent is quite obvious. It does around 40%, so in case he goes for a Will-O-Wisp, I switch right out to 2 Zone. Hint, if you don't get the name, search it on YouTube. He just recovers on the switch, so the best thing I can do right now is try Parafusion. He gets fully paralyzed, and better get used to the hexes because there are many of those in this game. He unveils a Hex now, but it doesn't do very much and I easily lose the damage off as he gets paralyzed again. He decides to switch out, and because how much Nightshade did to his Quagsire, I assume that it is unaware physical wall, so I'm feeling quite safe to switch to Executor, but he hits me with Ice Punch on the switch. Now, because I am faster, I know that he won't stay in, so I go for a Sleep Powder, but he makes a nice prediction and switches back to Jellicent. Now I go to Meloetta to take a Hex, but he gets paralyzed and then misses Will-O-Wisp as I hit him with Psychic just to see how much it does. I go back to Xatu to bounce off a Will-O-Wisp, he gets paralyzed, I go for Confuse Race and he gets paralyzed yet again. Now though he breaks through all the hexes and hits me with Rain Boosted Scald, which does a little bit more than Hex. Meanwhile I slowly wear him down with Nightshade until it gets disabled by a Cursed Body. So all I can do now is get back up to full HP and switch out. Now the scenario from few turns back repeats itself. I confuse him as he gets paralyzed, but then he manages to get off a Scald, gets a burn, and then takes me out with doubled in power Hex. I go back to Medicham, thinking that it is probably the best moment to try to take this Jellicent out, because all I need is him getting paralyzed or hitting in confusion once. Although he manages to break through paralysis as well as a confusion again, he misses a Will-O-Wisp and I am like, whew, that was close. So I finish his Jellicent with another Psycho Cut, but that's just one wall taken down and in comes another one, so I'm forced to switch out and he sets up a Calm Mind on the switch. I put him to sleep because I want him to rely on Sleep Talk rather than being able to choose a move that he wants to. Funny thing is, his Suicune wakes up on the first turn, which for once is a good thing because he wasted that turn going for a Sleep Talk. Meanwhile I go for a Sunny Day just to bait his Politoed and get Suicune out of there, but then I make a bad play thinking that I will be able to get off Solar Beam before his ability changes the weather, which is not the case because his ability activates first, and because I need another turn to attack, he is able to take me down pretty low on HP with Ice Beam. Now I switch to Slowbro just to take another Ice Beam, but on the same turn he switches to his Suicune, predicting my Sleep Powder. This isn't really a good matchup for me and he knows that, so he sets up a Calm Mind as I go back to Medicham, just so I can hit it with much more powerful High Jump Kick, but then it goes completely wrong. High Jump Kick misses, Aladdin breaks his leg and as he reaches in pain, gets poured with a boiling water and dies in agony. Damn! You wouldn't want to be in his place. So now, because I have nothing left to break through this Suicune, I go to Victini of all the things, just to do as much as I can with Grass Knot, and after I see how much it did, I'm like, well, that's a GG right there. But then in comes Meloetta, and she is not someone that gives up that easily. Oh no, instead she scores a critical hit and puts Suicune to sleep with Relic Song. So that right there puts me back in business, and I go for a Shadow Claw because I don't want to lower my defenses with close combat, and it turns out to be a good move because he switches to Tentacruel expecting it. So now I go for a Relic Song again just to threaten him with Psychic, and it puts Tentacruel to sleep as well, so Meloetta is like, I will put everything to sleep if I have to and I don't even care. I finish his Tentacruel with Psychic, and with Suicune almost dead, things are looking good. He sends out his Floatzel for the first time, and I don't know what this thing wants to do, so I go back to Slowbro and easily take a Waterfall. Seeing that he switches out, I assume that he is choice locked, and I finish off incoming Suicune with a Psychic. In comes Quagsire again, and I Toxic him in case he wants to set up on me. Meanwhile he goes for a Yawn, so I switch out to Executor pretty much as a dev fodder, as he decides to go to his Politoed on the same turn. Surprisingly he stays in as I go for a Sleep Powder, but then I make the same bad play again and go straight for a Solar Beam instead of setting up a Sunny Day, so he just uses a free turn to switch to his Floatzel and kills me with Ice Punch. I go back to Slowbro and waste another turn by using Toxic when Floatzel is his only Pokemon without status. He switches to Quagsire and yawns me again. I don't want to fall asleep, so I switch to Meloetta, which does a very good amount with a Psychic, and then survives a rain boosted Stab Waterfall with 11 HP. At this point though, I completely forgot that his Politoed is still alive, and I knew that I can stall out his Floatzel if he doesn't carry Crunch, so I just leave Meloetta to die, and that really cost me in the end. Slowbro comes back, takes a Waterfall and answers with Psychic, which is an easy to hit KO. Right there he flinches me, and because I forgot about Politoed, I told Snecols that I won't use a Slack Up, so if he manages to flinch me 3 more times he takes the game. He gets only 1 more flinch though, and I eventually take him out, but he goes to his sleeping Politoed and I'm like, maybe I will slack off after all. He wakes up and shows me that the best move he can hit me with is a Scald, which doesn't do much, and because I'm confident that I got this game in the bag, I go for Toxic rather than Psychic. That is a big mistake though, because he reveals that he is carrying an Inkor, locks me on Toxic, and Scald combined with burn damage takes my Slowbro out before Toxic does his Politoed, so that is the game. Conclusion: this video should be called How to Recover from a Terrible Situation Using Haxes and Then Lose Anyway Having Game in the Bag, but that would be a long title and nobody would be bothered to read it. Anyway, good game Snecols, I hope you guys enjoyed it as well, and if you did, you are welcome to leave a like, rating or comment, and I see you all next time.